Welcome to the Random Ass Podcast. I'm your random asshole, Christopher Steele.
You're the random asshole, Steele-Rhoads. Welcome to the show.
Hidden Gems.
You want to go first or shall I?
Oh, you go first.
Well, my hidden gem for the week is River City Ransom. I'm going to go with that one because that's just such a good game. So underrated.
Look up the album.
Right on. River City Ransom is actually a part of a bigger franchise in Japan.
It's a great game.
It got that franchise got two releases in America. One of them being River City Ransom, the other one being a soccer game, World Cup Soccer or something like that. But it's got remakes for the Game Boy Advance, which they're awesome. They just did a spin-off show or a spin-off one called River City Girls, which looks really good. I'm thinking of downloading it on PS4. Honestly, it looks that good.
Okay.
So, what you got on yours?
Greg Hahn.
Oh, nice.
Live from Hermosa Beach. It's the only album they got on here, so that's what. Greg Hahn is actually hilarious.
Yes. I find myself no friends. A great drummer too. Surprisingly.
It's actually funny as hell. He's like thank you, and that's not the whole show.
Did you know he was a Marine captain?
Right.
It's fucking amazing to think.
He talks about it a little bit.
How frantic he is. He's hilarious, but still, like frantic as fuck.
All right, so.
R.I.P. Sid Haig, Captain Spaulding from Devil's Rejects, House of a Thousand Corpses, 3 from Hell. He passed last week. We get anything else in there?
All right, so.
No, that's all it.
There's a couple things I wanted to talk about.
Go for it.
First off, we didn't mention this last week, and we both watched it yesterday.
Yes.
Great movie.
Excellent movie.
I just want to know
what song he sang.
Right, in the new timeline, what song did he do?
Because it couldn't have been Wonderwall.
Right, that didn't exist.
Exactly. Or if he did do Wonderwall, that means he wrote Wonderwall in that world. It's one or the other.
I'd say he didn't.
Well, if you think about it, and he remembers the Beatles, why wouldn't he remember Wonderwall as well?
But that would be that would be the other timeline. He wouldn't remember the Beatles at that time, or Oasis.
I can't exactly go in on that with that one because. And he does remember it, so what would prevent him from remembering it back then but not realizing it until now?
Because
there's a whole lot. See, I want it on Blu-ray so I can watch it with some fucking commentary and get a little more light on what the hell happened exactly.
He's not the only one that
No, he's not. I was thinking something crazy was going to happen, like they were going to try and like call him out on it, like you're plagiarizing, and they're like, everybody else was like, who the hell's the Beatles? There was a sweet little twist though, where the brother like, thank you.
The woman's like, the world needs the Beatles. And they talk about Eleanor Rigby.
Yeah.
He's like, can't quite remember the lyrics to that. I have a hard time remembering myself.
Right. No, okay, here's the fun fact about yesterday. It was directed by Danny Boyle. You know some of his movies? 28 Days Later, Slumdog Millionaire, 127 Hours, The Beach, Train Spotting. Like, does this dude have a genre? Is he just like, I'm going to do
whatever I want?
Looks like we're doing a movie about the Beatles this week.
Right.
It's like, I'm going to do a horror, I'm going to do a drama, I'm going to do a comedy, I'm waiting for him to do one that's all of them. Just like everything, all make it like a drug-fueled drama, comedy, horror.
Okay. You got anything else to say about the movie?
About yesterday? Shit. There's so much. Like, the dude, I'm pretty sure the guy is doing the songs himself, like that is
Right.
legitimately him, and if it is, the dude deserves some kind of fucking recording contract because goddamn, he's good. And is Summer Song ever gonna get released on a CD? Because like, come on, that was actually a really good tune. I would have been that dick with the sign too instead of play Summer Song. Spoiler.
Yeah, I just...
There's no way to spoil that movie. Like, you can tell someone the exact concept of what it is, and then you can't grasp it until you watch it.
The guy that played John Lennon was
Oh, dude.
amazing.
Yes, Robert Carlyle. Yeah, you might know him from some stuff. I know I do. He was in Once Upon a Time as Mr. Gold. He was in Star Trek or Stargate Universe. He was in The World Is Not Enough. He was in The Full Monty. He's in all kinds of shit, but he really played a convincing John Lennon.
I haven't seen any of those.
Really? Hold on. Have you seen The Beach?
No.
That's a good movie. Hold on. Hold on. I'll find a TV show or something. You'll be like, okay, I know from that. Hold on. Oh, come on. Hold on. Fuck. Hold on. Damn it, nothing. That's actually surprising. Yeah, he played Rumpelstiltskin though in
I never watched it.
Once Upon a Time. Like that's.
It still looks like Lennon.
He does, yeah. Just throw the fucking glasses on. Like I can see how he got the role. Now, see, having seen that, have you ever heard of Everyday Chemistry, the Beatles album from Another Dimension? It's a really good album. It's basically just a mashup of all their solo shit, and there's really good mashups though. But I would like to see a movie made about that album using like lookalikes like that. Well, and
I'm gonna change the subject.
Oh, right
on.
Great segue.
I was watching Voyager last weekend and early this week.
Okay.
Because it was on Mother.
Nice.
And
you should look into Pluto TV. They have an entire Star Trek channel you might be into.
And
I think they're in the middle of DS9 right now.
And I was thinking about it. Do you remember the series finale?
Not right offhand.
Where they got home like 30 some odd years, I think. And that they're celebrating. And then Captain Janeway steals like a ship. She gets some help. And she goes back in time.
Oh, okay. Yep.
Okay.
Does
now,
the fucking first episode of Star Trek?
No, it goes to... No, it's 7 years into their... Because that's where they were at. Almost 8 years. And they end up using Borg technology to their transwarp system to get home. They got end up being chased by a sphere. And they destroy the sphere at the end, and the transwarp system and shit. Anyways, in the series, there's multiple visits from the Temporal Bureau.
Right.
Captain Braxton and Temporal Bureau from the 29th century. Why didn't somebody from the Temporal Bureau say, come back and say, no, you can't do this, and stop future Janeway from...
Yeah.
And not just that, being that is canon. Why didn't they stop the Romulans from going back and creating the Calvin timeline?
Remans.
Romulans.
I thought it was the Remans. I thought Nero was a Reman.
The Romulans. I could swear the Romulans. Anyway, why didn't they go back and stop the
Calvin timeline from being created?
Right.
That's a good question.
Alright, well, we'll fuck our own history out.
Right.
And...
Oh, no, you're right. It is the Romulans. I swear they were the Remans.
Romulus blows up.
That's right. That's right.
I guess why didn't the Temporal Bureau step in?
It's a damn good question.
I'm pretty sure Discovery is basically off. It is, if it's not the Kelvin timeline, it's a timeline off from the Kelvin timeline.
Right.
Something different might have happened in between the USS Calvin and the Star Trek movie.
Yeah.
But I'm fairly certain it is part of a Calvin.
See, they really fucked up by doing this alternate timeline, in all honesty. Because it's like rebooting and then debooting
Right,
Star Trek.
because Picard is going to be the original timeline.
Yeah. But I can see them leading into...
They're like, oh, they might cross over. I'm like, no, they can't.
Yeah, they can.
They're different timelines.
But they can still cross over. Because in the comic build-up, the comic book build-up to the original of these Kelvin timeline Star Trek movies, Data was chasing fucking Nero, who was chasing Spock. And he was the captain of the Enterprise. So, is
it Data or before?
It's the chunkier version of Data. Like he's like inflated. Like, I don't know. I guess that it became something when he started aging. They started making Data look a little bit puffed out. But no, he was Captain Data, so I would assume it was Data. But so everything is right there. They could end the Picard series by having Data become the captain of the Enterprise, and then there you have the small crossover / lead into.
But that still doesn't make sense because, well, it kind of, but doesn't, because Romulus blowing up and Nero chasing Spock still happens quite a ways
into the future.
Right.
Right. I mean, it totally makes it like Picard's shit is like.
But if
because it's technically all the same time. It's fucking Terminator all over again. It really is. It's all technically the same timeline, but with the intercession of what happened with Nero and Spock, it threw everything in the timeline off a bit. So Picard and Pike met each other instead of Pike going first, and then Kirk and Pike met each other instead of Pike going first, dying, and Picard taking his spot like it was done in the original series. You know,
actually,
it just kind of sped up.
I don't know about that. I because they really didn't say.
Gene Roddenberry flat out said that the reason they didn't work, that Pike didn't work, was because the actor was absolute shit.
Right.
And so they decided to kill him off screen and have
later on.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It was definitely later on.
Because they had the
unaired pilot.
The unaired pilot,
which was Pike.
And they redid the unaired pilot a few years into
Like,
the series.
I think second season in, third season in, something like that. Because they only got 4 or 5 seasons total.
They got 5, I believe.
I think you're right on
I think it was like the third or fourth. It was a which had the 2-part episode with the flashbacks to.
that. 3 seasons. They got 3 seasons. So it had been like the second season. They did the Pike flashback.
They flashed back to the unaired pilot. So the reason I say that it's off the Calvin timeline, Discovery,
yeah,
is because of how do I put it? Section 31 has a lot of military power, and they didn't have that military presence until like the Dominion War.
Right. But they consider it to be in the prime timeline, which is fucked up. They just shits on their own history again.
Right. I say it's off the Calvin or a Calvin adjacent.
Right, I would think so too. They say it happens roughly a decade before the events of the original Star Trek series.
No. Maybe the Calvin movies.
Right?
I don't see it.
No, it's in the prime timeline. The creators, fucking everything relating to Star Trek is saying that it's apparently a prequel to the original series. Fuck that shit.
No, it's off the Calvin timeline. Fuck you.
Yeah, it makes more sense. The technology looks more towards the Kelvin timeline look.
You know, they do talk about the.
We live in a fucking world where we can recreate the Princess Bride bedroom perfectly. You can't tell me that they couldn't recreate a fucking perfect looking 60 Star Trek look
Right.
to fucking make it fit into that goddamn timeline. It doesn't. That's bullshit. They're lying.
Like I said, it is, to me, it's off the Calvin because of the military presence of Section 31. How big Section 31 was in Discovery. They've been around forever.
Right.
But you know nothing about them
Except for what they want you to know.
until I think Deep Space Nine might have mentioned them.
Probably. I think.
I'm thinking Deep Space Nine, and that's when.
Gonna need to help me spell that shit.
What?
The
Section 31.
Oh, okay. Wait. Holy
Star
crap.
Trek Section 31.
Yep, it's already there. Yep, Deep Space Nine. Episode Inquisition. Cool.
They're mentioned, or
Harris, Giorgio, Leland, Sloan. They even have their own set of novels.
but they didn't get. They didn't get. You don't know about them until
Deep Space Nine.
Deep Space Nine.
Then there's 2 appearances in Enterprise and a shitload of it or 3 of them in Into Darkness. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Wait, 1, 2, 3,
So-
4, 5, 6, 7. 7 in Discovery.
So technically, the Borg is responsible for the creation of the Federation. They say so in Voyager.
Yeah, it would make sense.
Because of First Contact.
Yeah, would make sense.
And in Discovery, you watch that, the second season, when Section 31 really shows up. They started or trying to mess with the Borg technology that they had from the Borg parts that got left behind. How many hundreds of years ago?
Right, thousands even.
Hundreds.
Well, according to Guinan, it took thousands of years, hundreds of thousands of years,
No,
for them to develop into the Borg.
no, I'm talking
Or their intercession.
from First Contact.
Yeah.
The,
Okay.
What? There's a couple body parts with Borg
Stuff attached.
technology attached that they like froze for a while. You can kind of see they use some of that. The bad guys from Section 31 that's trying to get all this information. Ends up using like what looks like, where the Borg does that.
Yeah.
And they use that.
Okay.
I see. It's Borg. It's the Borg technology got reused by Section 31.
Fuck yeah. Okay, there's a new number 1 in Picard. Have you read the character list yet? De Niro as number 1. And it's Picard's dog.
Oh.
All the returning cast members are Data, 7 of 9, Hugh, Riker, and Troy so far.
Everybody's returning that.
That's what I'm guessing. Dude, I can't wait until frickin' William Crusher.
Is it technically Troy or is it Troy Riker?
It says Deanna Troy. It should say Troy Riker, shouldn't it?
Or Deanna Riker.
Right?
They got married, so.
It's true.
So what do you want to talk about?
The Spider-Man deal. Sony Spider-Man working their deal out. We're getting 2 more movies positively confirmed. The third Spider-Man movie, Marvel's going to co-finance 25% of a third for a 25.
And Kevin Feige's back on the
Yep.
producers list or whatever.
Yep. But they're talking that they want to
Include.
We hear that Sony progresses their own Marvel as Sony progresses their own Marvel universe with titles such as Venom 2, Sinister 6, the Disney Marvel with their own, that there will be a call and answer between the 2 franchises as they acknowledge details between the 2 in what is loosely described to be a detailed shared universe. I don't see that as a bad thing.
No. But I'm highly expecting, if they do use like the Venom universe, Morbius is also getting his own movie.
Oh yeah.
Sony.
Oh yeah, fuck yeah. He should be one of the Sinister Six, honestly. He should be the one that wasn't, you couldn't see the face of in Amazing.
Anyways, if that's the case, I would imagine more using like the multiverse.
Right.
For that. For Venom.
Why not?
To explain Venom.
Yeah. Or they could have placed the Venom. They didn't really put Venom in a time frame. They didn't.
No.
They made it abundantly clear that they were trying not to let it be timed anywhere. So it could have taken place way in the future after Secret Wars happens, and he fucking discovers the black suit, gets the symbiote. Government gets their hands, like Shield gets their hands on it. They could really backdoor it to where it would make sense. I mean, it is fucking feasible. And I wouldn't mind it one bit. I wouldn't even mind it if Deadpool, that's how Deadpool makes his appearances in Secret Wars and fucking puts on the costume first and is like, oh, no, this isn't for me, and drives it insane.
Right.
I would not mind. Like, I'm not, like, you get those things in there. But yeah, Sony's Spider-Man's back for now, for 2 movies that we can certainly say for certain. But Tom Holland is only under contract with Sony for 2 more movies. So if he's like, nah, and then goes and signs a deal with fucking Marvel to do voiceover work as Spider-Man in their like what ifs and shit like that, because animated, that's still all Marvel.
Actually, I did hear something about Spider-Man being in like what if.
That would be great. I honestly think Sony should be like, hey, we did an amazing job with the animated Spider-Man as well. Can we get in on that?
I would just...
Stuff. But
like you said, though...
give Sony all of the gaming rights.
Right, and give Marvel
all of
the
them,
MCU.
Yeah, give them Spider-Man back for the MCU.
And I actually, unfortunately, if it was me, I'd give them all of Spider-Man. Venom would be included.
No, that's what I mean. Like, all the Spider-Man universe and all it encompasses, movie-wise, would go back to Sony. Or go back to Disney. And give Sony the fucking gaming rights. It makes perfect sense because they absolutely knocked it out of the park with Spider-Man. They really did. And the Avengers trailer, I cannot wait for that movie or that game to hit. I'd say movie because it seems so cinematic.
Sony's like, oh, we had $1 billion movie in Venom, and Far From Home was $1 billion movie. Yeah, but Venom, Far From Home, was part of the MCU.
Right.
Venom, they put it up against nothing.
Right.
There was nothing for weeks. What are you gonna watch? I guess Venom because there's nothing else out.
Right. It was a trash movie. It's what it was. Not even fucking lie. It was a trash movie. The 80% of people that enjoyed that movie on Rotten Tomatoes don't know a damn thing about Spider-Man or Venom.
Right.
They're like, yeah, I remember playing as Venom in Maximum Carnage on Super Nintendo. It had the red cartridge and everything, man. Venom was awesome. Like, that's where the fuck they don't know shit. They didn't even watch a cartoon, because if they watch a cartoon, they'd be like, hey, Venom.
Right.
This is not how this goes. It's not how any of this works.
How any of it works!
Right? That's not how this works. That's not how any of this works. So, okay, there was that. Do picks? I got picks already open.
Alright.
Worst video game you've ever played. Top 3 worst video game. Well, let's even do it as a hierarchy.
3 to 1 or 1 to 3?
From 3 to 1. Absolute worst goes last. Slow build. Gotta build it up.
I'll let you go first, cause...
Okay. The 3rd worst game I've ever played. Aquaman Battle for Atlantis for the GameCube. Absolutely atrocious. You'll see a running theme as soon as by the time I get done here. The 2nd worst game I've ever played is Batman Dark Tomorrow for the Xbox. And the absolute worst game I've ever played ever is Superman 64 for the Nintendo 64. Those are the absolute worst of the worst games that I've ever played. Mainly because, like, I can even tell you why. Aquaman, you're in the ocean, yet there's walls. and there's never anybody around to fight. Batman, the camera should be mounted on the stick, on the right stick. It's not. It's a fixed camera, and it just picks the weirdest fucking places to jump to. Like, you never see the bad guys coming because it always puts them off fucking camera. And Superman 64, like, you already... Have you played Superman 64 before?
No,
Don't ever. It's the worst. Like, the Nintendo 64 controller is hard enough to get used to, as it is.
That's why I never played, because I hated the 64 controller.
And the thing that really bothers me with Superman 64 is I've played the retail version that came out and everybody played, and then there's a beta version that's on the internet, and I've played that beta version. It's 1,000 times better. It's actually a playable game. I don't know what the fuck went wrong.
Can I just go? Any game that's Candy Crush like?
Yeah. Any match 3 can count. You can lump them in together. Yeah.
Any? There's so many crappy games on mobile.
Oh fuck yeah.
It's hard to fit. Like I said, any Candy Crush type game, including Best Fiends. I'm like, you know the commercial for that? Like, who the fuck is talking about this game?
Nobody.
I have not heard anybody say a word about it.
No. Nope. I get the feeling it's 5 people downloading it, undownloading it, re-downloading it, undownloading it, re-downloading it to get the downloads up to fucking how many ever million they claim. Just robots of download, delete, download, delete, download, delete, download, delete.
There's, like I said, there's just so many mobile.
Oh, yeah. You can just claim mobile games as one just solid division of shit games.
Other than that, I can't tell you because
you can't think of anything from Nintendo or anything, or you were just like, "Fuck this game! It is the worst piece of trash ever." Because I can think of quite a few that when we were growing up were just like, "Why the fuck did we rent this? Why did we bother even attempting this?" X-Men, remember X-Men? Renting that from
actually,
Silver Surfer
wasn't as bad as
Silver Surfer was fucking terrible.
That
dude.
one.
Superhero games. You'll notice a lot of superhero games get put on my list of like terrible games because I have such high expectations for superhero games. There's so much possibility. The Spider-Mans for fucking PlayStation were god awful. They did a lot of cool stuff, but it would have been a lot cooler if they'd have waited one generation, had Spider-Man 2 under their belt, and then started doing a lot of cool shit with like Beast and Rogue and fucking Wolverine and
yeah.
There's a lot of games that could definitely do for some HD remakes. Like PlayStation 1 titles. Right. You know what they need to make, and they have the technology to do it, is drop back a skosh in the graphics department for like the Capcom fighting games and do just an all-out, every fucking character they can find, Capcom versus Marvel game where it's just fucking thousands. Because, I mean, you've heard of Mugen, right?
So, speaking of which, did, have they updated the newest Marvel vs. Capcom to include X-Men characters?
I don't know.
Since they got...
I don't know.
Because it didn't have any like X-Men characters.
Yeah, no, they get, or Fantastic Four.
Or Fantastic Four because Disney didn't have those rights. With Disney getting those rights.
Right.
Which makes no sense because the other ones had them.
Yeah.
I go, no, we can't do it now.
And they're not. they're not, no. But here's why they said Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite has no X-Men characters because fans don't remember them. Are you fucking crazy?
Are you high?
They have to be.
Are you fucking high?
They have to be. They have to be. But you see where I'm going. Like, just do a full out, drop back the graphics, because if you drop the graphics back to, like, the late 90s arcade style that looks so awesome, like, perfectly animated, drop it back to that and just load in every fucking character you can think of from all the Street Fighters, all the fucking what was the other one that Capcom had that was fighting? All rival schools. They have fucking tons of them. Fucking get the SNK guys in there too. Fucking when they did Capcom vs SNK, King of Fighters, like in Mortal Kombat. Fucking get them all. Just make the biggest fighting game you could possibly think of, and give it online shit, like to where you could finally have like Liu Kang versus, and reanimate the old Mortal Kombat characters. Give everybody fatalities too. Fuck it.
So
I mean, you want to see Wolverine just shred up
motherfuckers? Change it because I couldn't do that one like you.
Right on.
How about top 3 characters you're gonna download for 2K20?
Okay. Oh, done. I've got my 3. We can do them in a hierarchy.
No,
back and forth.
Back and forth.
All right.
I'll go first. Tommaso Ciampa.
Okay. My first one will be Kenny Omega.
Cody Rhodes.
I'm gonna count these guys as one. The Young Bucks.
Right. Jericho.
Nice. Moxley.
I come up with more. Dakota Kai.
Pac. Orange Cassidy.
I didn't see Walter.
Right. Oh yeah, all the NXT guys that don't get the love, they would be getting picked up. AEW and NXT would be just getting all rolled into my shit quick as fuck. If you look
I really hope they got more room.
Oh God, yeah. I would just leave it open to take up as much space as you want to use on it, because I will delete other shit to make room for characters that I want, because I play that game more. I play the 2K. I hate saying it. I play 2K more than anything else, honestly, because I still fucking just rack it out in universe mode. I wish they'd bring back GM where there was something to actually do in it, but
I'm
fingers crossed. I'm hoping their offshoot game, the in between that they're talking about between 20 and 21, is.
I don't see it this year for 20.
Well,
but I could see it for 21.
Did you see where THQ is back? They're now called THQ Nordic, and they're looking to start picking up the franchises that they once had. I would not mind if this was the last WWE game from 2K, and WWE goes back to frickin' THQ and AKI get together and make another fucking epic, kick-ass fucking game in the vein of SmackDown 2.
I know
it'll always revert back to that and it has to do with us playing that spending that fucking summer just playing the shit out of that fucking game.
It did drop in its ratings. Over what, 20 years?
Yeah, but that's gonna happen when the graphics look as janky as they do. But if you gave modern day graphics with that style of like career mode, where you could get 4 people to play career mode at the same time with their own custom guides, like what the hell? We don't need voiceover. It's not mandatory. Shit, they got rid of voiceover to do the stupid promo stuff, which I say stupid promo stuff, but I wouldn't mind having the promo thing in there in a 4-man career mode where you could be like, I'm going to call out you, motherfucker.
Right.
Online career would even be fucking amazing. A 4-person online career where your fucking storylines overlap.
The GM mode or career mode or whatever you want to call it.
Both. Well, there was 2 separate things. There was the career mode, which was like the what we were talking about for SmackDown 2, and then GM mode came about in like the SmackDown vs. Raw games, where it was one show versus another. You try and win ratings by putting together the best show possible.
They had it in SmackDown games as well.
Kinda, yes. They had those weird pay-per-view modes where you try and...
No, they had GM mode.
I don't think so.
Yeah, because I remember playing it, where you tried to get the best ratings.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was...
I didn't have any other systems but PlayStation.
I know. Fucking SmackDown vs. Raw was on PlayStation. Only PlayStation. They took over for the SmackDown series.
Raw vs. SmackDown, what year? 2000 something.
It first appeared in SmackDown vs. Raw, 2006.
2006.
And 2007 is the one I own and play the fuck out of still to this day. Like, if I have my PlayStation out, I'll just, I'll drop this in and use Chris Benoit again.
this should be for the other one, but did you see?
Yes, David Benoit has been training and is signing with the All Elite. It's looking like, which is amazing. I hope it does.
He looks exactly like
I
his
know,
dad.
and he wrestles just like his fucking dad too.
Like what the? He's a clone of
his dad.
Of his dad.
And the only reason WWE, Triple H even said, he's like, it's the name. That's the only reason we won't pick him up is the name, and it's not me. It's not me. He's like, I would pick him up in a heartbeat. Kid's got talent. He's got skills just like his dad did. If you take those skills and use them properly and don't bash your fucking skull, and hey, you might have a full-on career.
I don't even get that because I see them be like, hey, you can't use the Benoit name.
Yeah.
You can wrestle for us, but you can't use the Benoit.
Yeah, I would. Yeah. But I don't even see why they couldn't use the Benoit name. They just couldn't, maybe not refer to him as Chris Benoit's son.
Right.
But they've said Benoit in reference to other people. Fucking, in the Kevin Owens documentary, his dad is fucking Benoit. So, like, the name is you. They've mentioned him in passing and other shit. You know, whenever time they mention the triple threat match with
right. Basically. But
they can mention him, but they can't glorify him.
I would say because he looks
so much like him is why they don't want to go that route.
That they'd be like, you gotta change your name.
Yeah. And in that case, I say AEW, just go for it. Just take him, go for it. Remember Benoit for everything that he was. Also remember that he may or may not have done it. Like, nobody knows about the people that were there.
Right. All right. So, like, share, subscribe.
Comment.
Tell your friends.
Tell your enemies.
Tell your frenemies.
Until next time.
Keep it random, man.
Peace.
I'm a world.